You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
It's
And another thing from last episode, I swear. Never mind. I can't.
I mean, it's true. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. If you're wondering what Poot's ranting about, that's because you chose to listen to episode 2 of the Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast this week. We are rolling. And you should have listened to episode 1 because, boy, that was a fiery flare flop fest of a finagle in there, big baby boys.
I got heated, but it's okay. In between episodes, Ransom and I cuddled. He told me it was going to be okay. Whispered sweet nothings. Called me baby boy.
The breast.
Everything was
cool. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, it's good. You know. What are we doing here? Yeah. So let's go ahead and tell everybody. This is the Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast. You know that because you clicked on the link that said Pittsburgh Piledriver Bing Bong Bang. Ransom is here. Beef is here. Poot is here. And we're going to do wrestle talk and screaming loudly into the ether. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about, so someone who's more intelligent than me, please take it away.
I don't know.
I meant beef.
Okay, fair.
Never mind. Sorry, Poot. Go ahead.
Never mind. It's fine. I'm just still stupid. I'm going to just go. Wait a minute. Hold on. What'd you call it? You said you ordered me the other thing. Oh, bother. Fucking gonna have my tack tail pulled out of my fucking asshole. The,
don't think that's what it was.
No, I was going to say, I think obviously it's got to be AEW talk. After all that fucking, I've got a lot of bad taste in my mouth from being all fucking heated over Roman fucking Reigns. I want to talk about something that's not going to get me all angry and heated.
So speaking of Roman Reigns.
You're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place, brother.
Price?
So AEW, praise.
Wrong price, brother.
Praise.
AEW was in Pittsburgh last night.
Yeah, man.
And pretty good show. And I mean, you weren't. There was some
fucking rude.
Some pretty good matches, and I mean they've been doing pretty good, man. You know, they're rumbling right along. There are definitely a couple things up in the air. So first of all, though, I do want to start with a gripe.
Oh.
Because
gripe bomb.
It's fair. I am upset that
if he's getting upset.
The TNT title is bouncing around like the 24/7 belt.
That was going to be the first point that I brought up is I'm like, Beef, how long did fucking Hobbs hold the fucking belt?
Not
Hobbs?
Not long, man. He so Wardlow beat Joe at the last pay-per-view. Yeah,
see, I said I was getting motherfucked. I said I was getting motherfucked last episode, and Ransom's really on his like Wardlow.
It's Beef's turn.
He beat Joe at the pay-per-view, and then the next Dynamite lost to Powerhouse Hobbs. And that was Revolution, so that was the beginning of March. And now the title is back on Wardlow, and he won in Pittsburgh, and I get it. Like, oh, the hometown pop, whatever. I just think that it's dumb to, be hot-shotting the title around. I like seeing Hobbs with the belt, but it kind of like lost its luster once he joined up with QT Marshall.
That was a weird pairing, like the Factory. Is that what they call themselves?
Yeah.
The Factory?
They used to be. Now it's like QTV. It just didn't work. At least not with Hobbs. I think Hobbs is a guy that needs to walk on his own for a minute. Like, he came out with those fucking vignettes about the Hobbs and, how he left Team Taz and everything else, and it was great, and we were here for it. And then you immediately put him in another stable. Stop it. Stop putting Powerhouse Hobbs in stables. Let him fucking run. Let him fucking just unleash him, man. But that being said, I don't mind Wardlow having the belt. He's a great ambassador. I just think that he's got to make this run count. He's got to, really, because this is, I think, his third run. I think he's got to make it. I think it's got to be dominant here. But that being said, I'm still not a big fan of the hot shotting of the titles.
No.
The one thing I will mention. So the one thing I want to get into. It seems like the tea leaves are reading that Phil Brooks is on his way back to AEW.
Yeah.
Nothing's a certainty yet.
Well,
is that excitement, Poot, or is that?
You know what? I'll let him finish, and then we'll reveal what that was.
Well,
no, he's being a miserable sod about it. You know what, man? If there's money on the table, there's money on the table. Like, Phil Brooks is still an absolute masterclass on the mic. And yeah, he may not be as good in the ring as he once was, but he's still, at least manageable. And, like, if you can have him and Jericho work through their shit and have a program, and if you could have him and the Elite, which is, I guess, the big ticket, if CM Punk versus Kenny Omega or CMFTR versus the Elite does not go down at Wembley Stadium, I will be shocked. Because, like, this is the biggest, like, work shoot angle that we've seen since fucking Matt Hardy and Lita. So, like, this is something that absolutely needs to happen. And I mean, Wembley Stadium is going to be the biggest show probably of all time at All In. So, I'm here for it. So, the tea leaves seem like the CM Punk is going to be returning. Which, again, I feel is a good thing. As long as he sticks to his original modus operandi, which was getting the young guys over.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I'll say, I think it's worked. Darby, in losing, has become one of the biggest acts in the company. FTR, by palling around with him, FTR is great because they're great. But MJF, I think, became a way bigger deal after the Punk feud. So, like, absolutely, as long as Punk is still rubbing elbows with the right people and giving the right people the benefit of the doubt, I think there's still money on the table. I'm excited for it. I'm even more excited to hear that it sounds like this Collision show is going to be happening on Saturdays, and it sounds like it's going to be on TNT, and it sounds like it's going to be a hard roster split.
Really?
Yep.
Yes. And that is something I've been fucking begging for the last 7 months.
Yep.
And it's something that's sorely needed. And yeah, like, probably doing it to keep Punk and the Elite off of each other's radar, which is not a bad idea. But so, like, yeah, I mean immediately, like, they have to work around CM Punk. I get it. But, like, from the fruits of that not necessarily great tree, we're getting something that I think is going to be great in principle.
All right, Ransom, do you want to say your piece on this, or do you want to let me go?
You go.
All right. I agree with every single thing Beef said. But Phil Brooks, and I used this term earlier, he needs to not motherfuck people, and he needs to get out of his own way, because, man, I'll tell you what, it's going to be magic. He comes back, he works with FTR versus the Elite, Wembley Stadium, amazing. He works with people, he actually stays in and cooperates and shows that he wants to be there for all the right reasons. I'm here for it. It'll make all the money. I agree with beef. But I'm sorry, history has shown that Phil Brooks just poisons the fucking well. He does a great job. He's wildly entertaining. Beef turned me into a CM Punk fan. But man, it just really feels like he's become that bitter old fucking man that he railed against. Like he's become that guy. And I'm cautiously optimistic. Cautiously optimistic. I want him to come back to an ovation. I want him to come back and do incredible work as a heel or a face. I want to see so many matches. But I just feel like he's going to come back. Things will just pick up and it will crash into the fucking wall because Phil Brooks does not know how to shut his fucking mouth and just do what's for the greater fucking good. I am terrified that that's going to happen because I really think that the gripe bomb and everything that happened at Brawl Out and All Out, that really put a stain on AEW. And it really put a bitter taste in people's mouths. Not everyone. Obviously, AEW is doing great. I had nothing but good things to say about AEW, especially this past week. But I'm just saying they got to be fucking careful. Also, Dynamite. How is that going to sit in the ether of these three shows? If we're going to have a hard roster split, is it going to be a three-way split?
No.
No, it's just a two-way split. What's up with Dynamite?
You mean Rampage?
Oh yeah, not Dynamite. Yeah, Rampage. Thank you. Yeah.
Ransom, do you have a piece to say? Because I have some points that I'm going to retort to Poot.
Oh. I mean, time will tell. Really. But the dude's not even back yet, right? And he's already he already had that fucking Instagram post where he was starting his bullshit again. Talking about Jericho and talking about Meltzer and fucking flipping out again. And he's not even been back. He's not seen anybody in the locker room yet. He's not been in a match yet. He hasn't gotten hurt yet. He's already starting his bullshit. I don't think he can stop. I don't think he will stop. I think that that's just who he is. He's going to fire off at the mouth and say things that he should have just said at home to his wife or to his friends. He's going to say it on a fucking live mic. He's going to post some bullshit on fucking social media. It's going to be a problem. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that if Punk comes back, it can be a Punk that we have never seen before. And that's the Punk that can fucking control himself and have a modicum of common sense and shut the fuck up. But again, CM Punk is the Donald Trump of the wrestling world. He can't keep his fucking mouth shut to save his life. I mean, really though, like think of the comparisons. Like he really is. Like people's biggest problem with Trump, and I'm not making this a political thing. Like it's just like this is what I heard. Like people didn't bitch about his policies too much. Most of people's problems were the things that he would say on a microphone, the fucking things he would tweet out on Twitter. Like he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He couldn't keep his fingers off the fucking phone. CM Punk's the same way. He can't keep his mouth shut. He can't keep his fingers off the phone. He can't stay off social media. He can't handle his shit face to face in a calm, cool, collected manner like an adult. He freaks out and throws a temper tantrum like a fucking child. I hope that I'm dead wrong and that he comes back and has a very uneventful in that fashion run in AEW. And everybody gets along, everybody makes a lot of money, and everybody entertains the wrestling fans. That is the absolute best thing that can happen, and that's absolutely what I'm hoping for. I don't necessarily believe that it's going to happen. No, I'm done.
It sounds like Ransom, you and I are going to two-man power trip stand against beef on this one.
Well, I mean,
we all want it to happen. I think that's the common ground.
We do. We all want it to happen. I think some of us see him more for what he is. I think some of us are clouded by nostalgia and, how much we like the dude as a wrestler and a personality. Nothing wrong with that. But I think to say that he's not a fucking hothead is you're lying to yourself. I think to say that he doesn't, freak out like a fucking child, I think you're lying to yourself. And to unequivocally believe that if Punk comes back, everything's going to be different and everything's going to be perfect and everything's going to be fine. Again, I think you're in a little bit of a denial because it happens one time. All right, it happens. It happens 2 times. It's a coincidence. It happens 3 times. It's a pattern. And unless you're really going to work hard at breaking a pattern, that pattern's going to continue.
All right. So, I'm going to keep this as short and sweet as I possibly can. And I've made some of these points before, but they bear repeating. CM Punk had a long career before he made it to WWE, with very little clamor or issue. I'm not saying he's not a hothead. He absolutely is. But I think that can be channeled into being best for business. I think you have to be careful with it. Absolutely. Everybody wants to act like he's this big fucking drama queen diva, all right? Let's not forget that he was the good guy in WWE. He left WWE because of how shitty they were treating him, which was accurate, and how shitty that they were treating Daniel Bryan. And I said it before and I'll say it again. If CM Punk does not leave, we don't get the Yes Movement at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan faces fucking Sheamus for the United States title. Maybe on a pre-show match. So, he wasn't the bad guy there. You know what? He walked out and he he put Colt Cabana on blast, which I don't support that. I still think that's a prick's trick. But for the most part, he was justified in. So that I don't think should be something held against the man. A pattern, maybe, but again, once it was justified, the second time, yeah, all right, he fucking shouldn't have shut his mouth off about people that were high-ranking officials in AEW. And we've talked about the fact that they probably should not be high-ranking officials on the active roster. But that's not going to change. There's still going to be the guys who basically went to Tony and been like, hey, hire us, hire our friends, and we'll create competition for WWE, which they absolutely have. As far as him starting back up, I wonder how much of it is a fucking work with him. Or how much that he was at least hoping to shoot into a work. He's a smart guy. CM Punk's a smart guy. And he is plugged in. He knows what's happening and who's talking what and who's saying what. So, I think if he's able to, timing is predominant. The fact that, the reports came out about him having a meeting with Tony and the EVPs, and then he sent out that tweet. I feel like he is using this to leverage and say, Tony, look, I've got a ready-made program with Jericho. I've got a ready-made program with the Elite. I've got a ready-made program with Moxley. Let's fucking go. As for your points, which I think are salient regarding whether or not he can, that remains to be certain. Again, I'll say it. I think the CM Punk popping off at the mouth on live TV could be good. I just think that it needs to be restrained a little bit. I think that they got to have a little bit of a leash on him, because the last thing that you want is another situation like All Out, because Poot's 100% right. That absolutely took away from a great event and absolutely put a black eye on the company for a while, despite them having incredible pay-per-views time and time again. And again, I know we could say, blame the reporters, but I mean, Punk's gonna have to deal with this, man. People are gonna be asking him about Colt Cabana just to get him riled. People are gonna be asking him about the situation with the Elite just to get him riled up. He's got to learn.
But he has to temper himself, man.
He absolutely has to not walk into those traps, because I think that these people that are trying this shit and the quote unquote reporters, I think that they absolutely don't have his best interest in mind.
No.
Necessarily. I'm not saying that there's an agenda. I just think that, he has to be careful how much he bites into that.
Look, they know what they're doing, right?
Right, absolutely.
They know what they're doing. They're trying to get him riled up because they know he flies off the handle. So they're doing it on purpose.
Right. They're trying to get a soundbite because everybody's fucking clickbait, because everybody's like, oh, well, we need more clicks, so this, that, the other thing.
But again,
can he? I think he can.
You need to be able to. You need to be able to discern the difference between they're trying to get a rise out of me, and be like, well, good try, but no, thank you. You got to do that.
I don't think that we need to have post-game press conferences for wrestling shows.
No, I think that's stupid.
At least not with the athletes. I like the way Triple H does it. It's basically him or people that he trusts, and I think that Tony kind of was doing the same thing. But man, if you want to bring the promoter out on stage or the booker, whatever, that's fine. That's cute. That's fine. But wrestling is a business of egos. And egos are always going to run high. Some guys are going to handle it better than others, obviously. Having a guy swallow his pride and lose to another dude when they may not be the biggest fans of the dude is always going to be emotional. So if you're coming at somebody moments after an emotional episode and you're fucking grilling them, it's the same thing as NFL post conferences. You got people coming into the fucking locker room after they just fucking lost the playoff game, and you're like, so what did you think about that pass that you made on third down that really cost them the game? Get the fuck out of here, man. You and your stupid fucking clickbait site that fucking, suck the world's biggest dick. All right, and fuck off. I don't think they're necessary. But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I think that we all agree, like we said, that a good Punk is best for business.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely 100%.
I think that even a little bit unrestrained Punk can be good for business.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Tony Khan absolutely has to have him on a fucking choker.
Yeah.
And if he goes into business for himself, how do I say this? On the wrong person at the wrong time, Tony's gonna shut that shit right down.
Does Tony have the balls to do that though? Because I went back and I watched the Gripe Bomb, and man, I'll tell you what, Tony sat there with his fucking dick in his hand And
Yeah, man,
he
he
looked
looked
like
like
a scared little fucking kid.
Yep. He was the deer in the headlights. He was watching this shit explode around him, and he was like, I don't know how to handle this.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so like, and like, so for example, let's put on our 2020 vision here. And the old hindsightinator. And let's take that one comment that Punk made about Hangman that kind of kicked this whole thing off. I think if Tony Khan sits him down immediately after, the both of them really, and was like, we're over. It's done. The next time either one of you says a word about the other, you're going home for a month with no pay. The
Yeah,
next
lay down
time
the
after
law.
that, the next time after that, you're done for 6 months. If there's a third time, your ass is hitting the brick road. So like, I think that if that would have stopped at that point, the Flash Punk point, if you will, I think that the whole Great Bomb could have been saved. So I think that Tony has to nut up, and keep Punk on a choker. But yeah, I mean, regardless of how much, and honestly, here's the other side of the coin, man. I think that you can push Punk as a huge fucking heel right now, and he would just roil in the heat, man. Like, he knows how to fucking use that heat to be the best in the world. So, like, if you bring him back, they're talking about bringing him back to Chicago. I get it. But, like, when he's outside of Chicago, I bet you he get booze.
Oh,
And
100%.
If I'm Tony
Whoa.
Khan, I ride with that man. And I go, all right, let's embrace it. Again, let Punk get spicy. Let him do what he does best. But make sure he's wearing a shot collar.
But the problem is that if Tony does the thing where you're like, hey, that's it, you're sending you home without pay, we're doing this, Punk's just gonna go, fine, fuck you, I'm leaving.
All right. Well, then he's gone, and
yeah, but
you guys are proven right, and there's not like a big to do. Punk doesn't punch anybody. He burns a bridge, and that's that. Now he looks at the two biggest, sporting companies in North America, two biggest wrestling companies in North America, and goes, what now?
Yeah, and they're not going to want to work with him.
Nope, they sure aren't.
They're not going to want to work with him. And the thing is here, Ransom, I don't know about you. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right about this. I want Punk to come back in and be a team player. I want that.
Yeah.
I don't want what happened last time. Like, no. I want him to be okay. Like, yeah, you're right. We all lose. And because it just, I just think of how good this could be for AEW. And especially the other thing is too, I think the idea of everything that's happening where he would be with FTR, I really think that would kind of put a limiter on Punk, because now he's not just hurting himself. He would be hurting two people who are arguably his friends, one, if nothing else. And Punk doesn't like to hurt his friends. We can say that safely.
Yes.
The people that Punk likes, he does not like to hurt. And I understand you could make the argument with, Scotty Goldman.
No, that fell apart.
Yeah, that was something that I feel like that was something that was like that's the pockmark on a perfect record. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that itself is going to put a limiter on Punk.
I'll say this.
Hopefully.
I hope he comes back, but more importantly, I hope they squash all this beef. Because the last thing that AEW needs are high-level guys like FTR, Samoa Joe, Darby Allin, MJF, Jade Cargill, all known Punk people, drawing a battle line and saying, well, we support Punk here. They've done, those people have done very good at not doing that, except for Dax. Dax is not good at hiding that. But like,
yeah.
I'm worried that him coming back, and this is a devil's advocate situation, would poison the minds of those great young athletes, and absolutely would create an us and them mentality, and that would be no bueno for AEW. So I think they have to be very careful. I think that Tony absolutely has to handle this with kid gloves. But again, like, if you're where he's at and he's got a chance to outdraw every WWE event for the last fucking 30 years, you know, he's gonna pull every trick in the book that he can. Moving on to a different subject. Poot or Ransom, I guess, but probably Poot. Did you see the Will Ospreay video on Twitter?
No, I didn't. What?
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. So long and short of it is, he said basically he's been out of action since like late February, early March.
Yeah.
And you know, said he's basically back. He's cleared, but he's still regaining strength and everything. But like, he understands that, like, you know, the whole high risk thing is not like just the fucking like wrestling cliche. It's literally the truth. Like, high risk is what it is.
Yeah.
And Will Ospreay is the living, breathing embodiment of that. And he said he's realized that, like, you know, he's changing his style, but you know, at the same time, and is continuing to do so. But at the same time, he said that this, you know, this ride may not be a long one. I think were his exact words.
Fill me in here. What's happening with him?
Basically, he's saying that he's probably not going to be around a ton longer.
Did he get hurt, or has he just been riding
He's
with some
had
injuries?
his neck is the big problem.
Neck, shoulders, you know, triceps,
Back.
Oh,
back. You know,
this was Will Ospreay, you said?
Yes, because of his, you know, death-defying offense.
Mm-hmm.
The man, I think his 30th birthday is this week.
Oh,
Yeah. So, like, this dude should be in the absolute prime of his career. And when he is going, he is one of the best, if not the best. And I'm not just talking about, like, his technical, like, his flippy acumen. He's a great technical wrestler, and he's a guy that can storytell in the ring. And those guys, unfortunately, are becoming fewer and farther between. So, like, you know, when he is like, you know, this ride may not be a long one, it broke my heart, because he's a guy that I watched, you know, come up through New Japan and come up through
Progress.
Rev Pro and
Progress and
you know, be a young gun and like evolve into like one of the best in the world.
his style, I mean, like, guys like him and Ricochet really paved the way for I think for that style to be acceptable outside of places like Mexico.
Absolutely. Omega was another one, but like, yeah, but you've noticed though that like Omega has really toned his style down.
Yep.
You've noticed that Ricochet, since signing his big contract, has toned his style down. Will Ospreay, so the problem with Ospreay is that he flew too close to the sun, as it were, and had his wings melt off. He wanted to be a guy that was with the heavyweights, but still doing cruiserweight stuff.
Oh.
And yeah, like he's like, fuck, this is not going to work. And like I said, he's definitely tempered his style a little bit. He had a banger, probably I'd still say match of the year so far with him and Omega at Wrestle Kingdom this year.
It was a good one. It was really good.
Would not shock me if we get Omega versus Ospreay 2, either at Forbidden Door or All In or both. But I just it breaks my heart because again, Ospreay is kind of one of those guys that I can always kind of cling to and be like, like Poot has with Walter. He was a guy that he was familiar with, and was like, hey, Beef, you gotta check this fucking guy out. Like Ospreay.
Oh, yeah, I did introduce you to Walter.
You absolutely did. Ospreay and like Zack Sabre and like Kenny Omega, like those are all guys that are like, beef guys. They're guys that I, was like, man, this guy, when X hits the big time, they're gonna be a big fucking deal.
Yep.
Samoa Joe is another one. Oh yeah, I mean, like it hurts. It really hurts. I hope, for Will's sake, that and then for the sake of everybody, that he maybe just a little bit trying to work everybody, but it really didn't feel like that. It really felt like legit from the heart. So my hope is that he can continue to adopt his style and buy some more time, because again, and like realize that like you can still pull shit out every once in a while, but you can't be doing that shit every other week,
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, we didn't see Punk do the Pepsi plunge until, for how many years? Until he pulled it on, what, MJF?
Yep. So, like, exactly. Like, you gotta know when to pull out the big guns, and that's okay. But, like, most importantly, I want him as a person to be okay. I want him to have a long, fulfilling life that's not, hampered by being crippled. Tom sent us a thing in the group chat today about Abdullah the Butcher having to sell his Hall of Fame ring because he's got no money because he has to fucking wrestle. Like that's what he does. That's what he's known for, and he's put his body through, some unimaginable shit. So now he's got no other choice but to, perform. And and I hate seeing old dudes like that. So, that's kind of my
especially so young.
Right. Yeah. So that was kind of something I saw in the news, and I'm like, well, that bears talking about, but it's a bummer. It's a bummer. Sorry to be a bummer drummer.
Well, no, but I mean that's the reality of this business, man. I mean, we can sit here and argue about that, and I'm not trying. This is not trying to I'm trying to make a point with the last episode and get heated over why are we complaining? Well, we should be complaining about Cody Rhodes losing and why Roman Reigns is getting sick and tired and boring. And things like that. We can sit and argue that stuff all day long. But the reality of this stuff is, and I can't remember who it was recently that made the comment of, I actually think MJF said it in an interview recently, or said it. He's like, we are going out there, and the reality is at any given moment, we could die. We're constantly inches away from dying in the ring, being paralyzed, breaking a bone, or giving up their lives. And to see someone like Will Ospreay, who has always had a very cavalier, devil-may-care style, say these things and kind of just be like, you know, and just be like, you know, I don't think my road's long. He's 30. He's 30. What did we say? LA Knight is 42.
Mm-hmm.
He's 42, and he's just now doing some of the best work of his career. Like, not to take away from any of his other stuff, I'd be a dummy. Yeah. But like he's doing some of the best work of his life right now, and he's 42. If Will Ospreay can dial in his style and really just kind of go, okay, let me dial it back, I can still make this entertaining, we could have him at 40, 41, 42.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's having that sobering reality, man, that these guys give, you know, they give it, and they give it all. So
Yeah, man. Speaking of giving it all, you boys want to do a Stump the Chumps? We got one from our buddy Ryuk here.
yeah,
Oh boy. Yeah.
You heard him. Yeah.
dummy.
All right.
Yeah,
Hopefully we're not dummies. We I think the last time we did one of these, we lost to the Maniac, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Who?
hate that.
We all do.
I know the answer to this question without even asking it. Who is the first wrestler Eddie Guerrero beat to become the WWE champion?
Ugh. Beef, take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar. End of list. No Way Out 2000. What year was that? It was right before WrestleMania 20, which is 4 years after 16, which was WrestleMania 2000. So it would have been No Way Out, I believe, 2004. Eddie Guerrero beat Brock Lesnar for the WWE Undisputed Championship whenever Goldberg, who had bought a ticket to the match, stood up and interfered, setting up the ill-fated Lesnar versus Goldberg 1 at WrestleMania 20. Ryuk, buddy, that was a good question. I liked it because I got to flex a little bit. He put a lot of stuff in here. Brock Lesnar is the correct answer. Felt good. If you know, not for nothing. Ryuk's asked some great questions, and this was a good one. You know, outside there's, you know, there are certain moments that like I'll remember for a long time, and Eddie beating Brock was absolutely one of those moments.
Because that actually felt like an underdog fucking win.
It absolutely was. It absolutely was. So that being said, Ryuk, it was nice to have this one. Thanks, buddy. Unfortunately for you, that means that you'll have to try again, man. Because around these parts, you don't get the question right. No, rather, if we get the question right,
Uh-oh.
you lose. And you get nothing.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid Pat. I'm still so upset. He's fucking flaunting that fucking title around, and
Hey,
it's not even a commissioned P3 title, man.
Listen, it's not, but gotta step outside yourself for a second. It looks good.
Stop it.
I'm just trying to give him a little
Stop
credit.
it, he says.
I'm just trying to give him a little credit because he's not going to have much more credibility after he loses that belt right away. Hashtag transitional champion.
Ooh.
There you go,
Okay.
Beef. See, I'm still on your side. I'm still here.
I'm coming back, baby. You know what?
Not on tape, man. Come on.
Quarter 2 is going to be Backlash and
Oh my God!
probably
Yeah.
not Night of Champions.
Yeah.
We don't typically pick those. Double or Nothing, which I'm pretty good at. I think. I don't know where to draw the line because we got Forbidden Door in June, Money in the Bank in July, SummerSlam in August, All In August, and then we're into the fall already. So yeah, we'll figure out where quarter 2 and quarter 3 split. But we're
No.
I'm coming, Pat. I'm getting my fucking title back.
Oh, Lord.
All right, I'm done. Poot.
Do we not have another one?
That's it.
That's it?
Pat was so satisfied with getting the last one that he didn't bother sending another one in.
Oh, wow. That shows, wow, what a fighting champion. Oh, boy.
Hey, man. I get it. You know, I get it.
I don't. Fucking cowboy up. That's what I fucking say. You want to put some stank on it. You want to put some hurt on it. That's what you want to do. See, that's fair. This is why, Pat. This is why, Pat, you are not going to have that championship through the next section. Beef. And you know what? I'm going to say, because I've been kind of a dickbag this recording session, I'm going to stand by. Yeah, I'm going to stand by. Dickbag. Yeah. I'm going to stand as the tiny little guy standing next to the Herald going, yeah. So, all right, I'm going to be that guy. You are not going to have that belt. Beef's going to get it back, and he's going to have the rightful thing. Isn't that right, Herald boss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rolling.
Because you're not throwing out more questions. You're resting on your laurels already. You've had that belt for next to no time. Well, you know what, dummy? Yeah, you're not going to have that belt much longer.
Get him, boys.
And that is just a fact of life.
Oh, I'm hurt.
But no, I honestly though, Beef, how can people submit questions?
Hey, you know the way to do it. You email the page at pittsburghpiledriverpodcast@gmail.com. Be sure to have 2 separate emails. One with the question. That question can be in the preview pane. I don't care. I don't really cheat. I don't really cheat. The second email.
Slip up.
Damn it! I found out. No, every so often I'll say a name. I'll see a name of a wrestler or a title in the preview pane, and I'm like, okay, I'll just not look up anything about that wrestler or that fucking title because you never know what I'm gonna But regardless, the question being the preview pane is not a big deal. The answer, however, is a bigger deal. Don't put the preview pane. Ergo, in the email with the answer, make sure you add some additional spaces, and not just spaces. You have to type stuff. Ryuk's found a good middle ground where you type a sentence or two, then you add some returns, then you add some letters. Return, letter, return, letter, return. Perfect this time, Ryuk. Great job. To do that, otherwise you're disqualified. You'll get nothing, and I get to laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
@gmail.com. Do it. Poot.
Do it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a quesarito this time because I gave you half of a broken taco shell covered in dust and tears last time.
Boogers.
Thank you all very much. No, not even that much flavor. Thank you all very much for listening to the P3 podcast. We really appreciate it. Why don't you do yourself a favor? Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Yeah. Find us over on any place. Oh, this is so great. Find us on anywhere you get your quality podcasts. That's iTunes, that's Spotify, that's anywhere, bitches.
Yeah.
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 Maybe also going over to our Facebook page and give us a like give us a like over there. Give us a like over on Facebook. And also, make sure you subscribe
sweet
to
thing.
all the various other P3 ancillary things. Okay, so you're going to want to go on over to Facebook. That's right, Facebook, the same place that you liked us before. This time, though, you're going to search on Casual Gaming Dad. That's right, our very own Tiger Bomb Tom and his page, Casual Gaming Dad. He's streaming tonight. That's why he's not there, because he got a little sleepy. Was he a sleepy dummy?
Yeah.
Anyway, we love you, Tom, but go follow him over there or give him a like on. Yes, give him a like over on Facebook. Give him a like over there, and also join Casual Gaming Dad's Corner. On top of that, to make him feel even better, you should go and subscribe to him on YouTube. That's Casual Gaming Dad. And over on Twitch, Casual Gaming Dad 84. Make sure you give him a follow and all that stuff. And then whenever he gets subs, sub to him as well. It's cheap, and you'll like it. You probably have an Amazon Prime one. Drop it on there. You know what else you should do while you're over on Twitch? You're watching Casual Gaming Dad. You're thinking, man, that Beef the Legend, that sultry voice. He's so talented. He's so good. He's my champion. He's my real champion. He's the champion without a belt. Beltless champion. Forever champion. You can go on over and you can go to twitch.tv/BeefTheLegend13. Am I right?
You are correct, sir.
Yeah, I am. That happens more often than people like to give me credit for. Anyway, yeah. So you go on over there, you follow him over there. Give him some love while he's streaming because he's doing a good job. And while you're over there still, third one, because I'm the least important, but you go ahead, you just give Poot the Bard, go on there, twitch.tv/Poot the Bard. And you go ahead and you give me a like over there. I promise I'm going to get back to streaming. The reason I haven't done it, I was moving on over to a new apartment. You can hear the echo of the new Bardatorium. Yeah, you can hear the echo here. No. Yeah, you can. It's been happening the entire time. On top of that, go back over to YouTube, and you're going to want to subscribe to Frig Off Ransom. That's right. Right? Yes, that boy right over there. Yes. That sweet boy. That funny boy. That man boy over there. Ransom.
Man boy.
You yeah, I mean, you're a man, aren't you? You want to
man boobs?
Man tits? You go on over there, and you give him a subscriber there. That's Frig Off Ransom. Search on Frig Off Ransom. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. You'll laugh your man tits off.
No.
Beyond that, you're going to want to go to Casual Gaming Dad. You're going to like him so much. And you're going to subscribe to all the things. You're going to go to gouldgaming.com, gouldgaming.com, and search on Casual Gaming Dad. Buy some stuff, will ya? Okay, including your very own P3 podcast t-shirt. Be like those fellas up in, what was it, Michigan? That were at a random AEW?
North Dakota.
Was it Michigan? I think it was Michigan. They were up there.
Frankincense.
They had their own P3 podcast t-shirts. And get yourself some. Dual tits. Not even the triple tits. Like what movie was that? Was that Total Recall?
Total Recall.
Triple tits. Get your own Total Recall triple tits t-shirt. There you go. Total Recall triple tits t-shirt. Almost alliteration. So you go on over there. Make sure you do that. Also want to thank Sean Tischler and his work with independent wrestling in the central Pennsylvania area. We got to get out to an indie show this year, boys. We got to make that happen. We'll have to look at our schedules. Well, you had a great time last time. Come on, man. It was a lot of fun.
All right.
And the next, by the way, the next time that we're going to be recording, it will have been my birthday. That's right. Yes, praise me. I made it another time around the sun without someone killing me. That's shocking. 38
you haven't gotten there yet.
38 years strong of not dying. We'll see if we can make it 39. Oh, you're going to be up? Oh, good. Thank you. That's what I wish.
I'll be up to see you off before Big 3-9.
You know what? I wished upon a star that would happen, so I'm going to get my birthday wish this year. But when it happens, who knows? That's the surprise. For myself, the Barbarian Poot, the Bard Bay, for Mr. Frigoff himself, Mr. Ransom the Madman, and of course our wrestling encyclopedia and all-around beltless champion, but still a champion nonetheless, and your champion, Mr. Beef the Legend. And for the absent Tiger Bomb Tom, we'll look forward to having you next time. I'm going to just tell you, thanks everybody, bye!
Rolling. Oh, wait, no, that's... Oh, fuck, the cats are yelling.